some stuff on my phone.
Okay.
And it's online.
That's a daytime.
Right. We're supposed to do the moon.
No, 239.
239.
Okay.
Very, very open about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I can't get that good clarity on the car down the road, but yeah, I can look at something 239,000 miles away, right?
Are you guys on YouTube? Do you check out YouTube material or?
We don't.
But yeah, the day moon, like the sun and the moon, both
social media.
The moon and the sun is the same size.
Yeah, right here. Right here. The moon has its own light. Do you know about the cold moon light?
How's it going?
Oh my gosh. So check this out.
You guys got any proof
So
of,
you know how
you're
like in the
living
sun,
on small
it's hotter
Earth?
than in the shade, right? So if you go in the shade, it's like 10 degrees
do you
cooler,
have
right?
any proof that
But
you
it's
live
the
on a ball?
opposite for the moon. Moonlight actually makes stuff 10 degrees colder than when it's in the shade. Yeah, it's completely polar opposite. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, you gotta check it out, man. That's for you.
Don't you want to know?
Think about all the proofs that you live on a spinning ball.
And then you put one in the shade and one out in the open.
Do you have any?
A lot of things today, whether you believe anything about this,
Yeah.
learning that the Earth
Well, they want you to have that correlation between the sun and the moon, but they really don't.
Yeah, man, that's pretty damning for them.
Yeah. It's like, why wouldn't you just go?
Exactly. And there's the wind patterns, the high altitude jet streams. It's interesting to see. So what do you think, man?
Antarctic, there's a thing called the Antarctic Treaty, and nobody's allowed to go past 60 degrees south unless you have an okay by them, and it has to be a scientific research
Well, what are they looking at?
that is okayed by all the governments in that signed the treaty. There's, I think, 55 of them now.
Sky numbers, yeah. Like double suns
So
and stuff
we
like
can't
that.
even go there to explore, to see,
Right.
you know, if we can cross Antarctica.
Yeah.
Because in the flat Earth model, you know, Antarctica all the way around.
What are the temperatures in Antarctica?
They get down to like negative 112.
Yeah.
And way colder than in the north. There's a high difference.
Like in the north, a lot of things go out. There's a lot of wildlife up there, trees, plant life.
Yeah.
They go all the way up to like 77 degrees north. Well, once you get down to Antarctica, the only thing that lives there is penguins. That's it. And then there's some seabirds, an albatross or something like that.
It should be at least kind of even because of the way that they say the Earth is tilted. Because, you know, there's summer right here for the north, summer right here for the north, and then summer right here for the south. So it should be pretty even when the Earth's on the other side of the sun.
2 million miles closer to the sun, they say. Like our winter up here, the sun is closer by 2 million miles.
So you guys are saying the Earth's spot, so the sun is always on us?
Well, the sun is kind of like a light just pointing down at a certain part
like
of
that.
the flat surface. And it just goes around in a circle.
With the atmosphere, the light doesn't go an infinite distance. You know, there's water vapor in the atmosphere, and water acts like a lens.
It's kind of like trying to look through water over, 500 feet. Once you go 500 feet down, you can't see sunlight anymore. It's all blacked out. So we're just trying to get people to just take a look at it and make up your own mind.
Yeah, see the other side of the story.
I mean, because everything we get from NASA and stuff like that, we can't verify it. You know? They won't let you or I go and build our own rocket. You have to get FCC and this and that and yada, yada, yada. Yeah.
So every time you see videos that show a curve like this, it's just a GoPro lens, fisheye.
Yeah, that's what it looked like when he was looking out the window.
Yeah. So if you use a GoPro and look at a straight line, and you look above the line, then it's going to curve like this. If you look below the line, then it's going to curve the other way, like concave.
But this is 128,000 feet taken with a rectilinear line, not a GoPro. And it's pretty flat. Yeah, here's the flight path. You go from Sydney, Australia over here to Chile.
Have you ever been to outer space?
And this is the path they take.
I haven't either. Yeah,
on
so
the
if you
globe.
take somebody
This
else's
is what it looks like on a
testimony
flat Earth.
and images of what
Just a
the
straight
Earth
shot.
looks like from space, and you can't verify it yourself,
So
is that science?
they brought this up to me a couple years ago, and I don't know.
If you can't take a picture,
It's mind-boggling.
if you can't take a picture of Earth
It's a
from
fascinating
space,
study. If anything else,
and you can't
it's
verify
fascinating.
yourself, is that science or religion?
It's belief and reason.
Okay, so it's a belief, not like actual observable science.
No, it is belief.
Yeah, nobody flies over Antarctica.
No, science is
Never-
not belief.
never
Science
been
is
done.
observation,
Okay.
and then verify it, and then you should be able to test it, and I should be able to duplicate it. That's science.
It has been done. Repeated.
By who? You?
Scientists that I trust.
Okay, so like a faith and priest or something?
Well, I believe in the priesthood.
Of science.
My degree is in biology, and my master's degree.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a good one.
I try to stand on the
he's
shoulders
got a degree.
of smart people. Okay, I do. Okay, and if that happens to be simply a belief, so be it. Yours is also.
How do you know that? You don't know what I haven't said anything for you to come to a conclusion of my belief.
It's fine.
So, but you haven't. Well, you haven't verified how outer space is real, sir. You can't have
Neither have you.
You can't have two gas pressure
Right.
systems
We-
next to each other without a solid barrier.
We definitely can't prove outer space is real. You're absolutely right.
Come on, I'll buy you beer and we'll talk over it.
You're definitely right.
We're here to talk right now, man.
No, we can do it right here.
Vacuum to gas pressure, buddy. You need a barrier.
He believes in his priest science. He was telling me about all his degrees. He's like, I got this degree and that degree.
We're looking for proof of a globe. Anybody got proof
How
of a
many
globe?
times has he tested it
Any
himself?
curvature?
He didn't test it.
No, he stood on the shoulders
Yeah,
of these great priests.
right.
Yeah.
He trusts the experts.
Yeah.
How dare you, young man?
Well, I asked him.
I'm on
I
the
said,
shoulder of giants.
I asked him. I said, is that science or belief? You know, he's like, well, I believe in the science.
So it's belief.
How does that even?
Science based on belief.
You could tell by his voice that he was like really perturbed about this whole
Oh,
thing.
did you not
Because they were
see-
coming down,
Did
and
you
I
not
think
see
they were
his whole
probably
body
gonna
shaking?
they were gonna go probably here, and then his wife or the person who wears the pants in the family told him to let's just keep going this way. Let's go turn around.
Never went to the moon. Outer space is fake. Not to lie.
If his degree is worthless, he's gonna have a cow, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
How dare you?
How dare you
I'm
tell
a
me?
baby boomer. We went to the moon. Hey, can you prove the globe to me? Excuse me. No? Okay. Can you prove the globe to me?
What?
Prove the spinning space ball, the globe?
You think we're spinning right
Do you
now?
believe you live on a globe? Yeah. Okay, so can you prove that to me? I've been in a belief that the Earth's not a globe anymore for like 4 years now. Can you please bring me back to the ball? I want to believe I live on a space testicle in a giant vacuum again. Please convince me. Please. I don't like to believe I live on the floor and that's the ceiling. Please show me I live on a spinning space ball.
You always see a Polaris and North Star,
Any proof of a globe? Any curvature? Any motion?
You take care, guys. Spread the truth, spread the love. Take care. Pleasure talking
Hey, I want to shake your hand too, sir. It was nice meeting you. Good to know woke people. Hey, can you all prove the globe to me? Spinning space ball in outer space?
Here, this is for you. Some good information.
No? How do you have oxygen if there's a giant vacuum around you? It's crazy, right? Can somebody prove the ball to me, please? Do you live on a spinning space ball? Please show me how.
Here, I got some signs for you. Check it out. It's for you. You ever heard about this before?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Prove the ball to yourself.
You know, I'm half and half, you know.
Half and half? Yeah.
The one thing I don't believe, man, that the earth turns around, man.
Yeah?
It doesn't turn around.
I mean, you don't feel it spinning, do you?
Yeah, you don't feel the spin,
Yeah.
man. And they say it's like 1,000 miles per minute.
1,000 miles per hour at the equator. About here, where we are in this latitude, maybe 700. But still, that's, it's really fast.
Yeah, man, it's really fast. And not just that, man. Think about it, right? I've never seen that from space.
Exactly, yeah.
All we see is what NASA put out there, right? On YouTube.
Exactly. So if you ask anyone, do they trust the government? 99% of people are going to say no.
No, man. And
Yeah. NASA's government.
it's crazy, man. Like, until you started, like, doing your own research, you know, and
Right.
learning a little bit, that's when you realize, crap, but this doesn't make any sense, you know?
Yeah, it's all a Hollywood production.
And they talk about when they went to the moon.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know if you've seen those videos, man. You don't see any stars in the background, man.
No.
And
So something that I've come to realize that you don't even have to debunk the moon landing when you can debunk the medium that is supposed to have taken place in. So they say that there's a vacuum in the sky.
the skies, yeah.
And you go high enough, then there's no pressure.
Right.
And we have pressure here, but they say that there's no barrier in between. Have you ever seen gas pressure without a container, or high pressure next to low pressure without them equalizing?
No.
We can't demonstrate that anywhere.
And the other thing is, like, apparently, like you say, right, the space is vacuum. That's what they say, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you see these astronauts, apparently they go up in space. All they're wearing is like a regular suit, man. If you
Yeah.
put yourself in a vacuum place, that suit will not be able
It's gonna
to
blow up like a balloon?
Yeah, it's not going to be able to keep you safe.
Yeah, and any kind of faulty seals, like you're dead.
And the other thing is, man, the radiation outside in space, you know. So it's a whole bunch of stuff, man, that
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
They're selling us a fantasy.
And plus, I don't know if you believe on the Bible, man. The Bible talks about.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I got some Bible flyers right here. I'm sure you might find that interesting.
Yeah, so the Bible actually talks about this when the Bible talks about when God said, you know, the pillars
The pillars of the earth.
of the earth.
Yeah.
What do you understand
It's
by
set
that?
on foundations.
It says on
solid.
foundation, right? Something
Yeah.
solid. Something's actually sitting on top of something, right?
And it shall not be moved.
Exactly. But here they say that it's just a glove that turns around and just hang it up in
It's
space.
moving, zipping, flying through an infinite universe,
Yeah,
spiraling around the sun
exactly.
at millions of miles per hour, combines everything together.
Yeah, and it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And I think the one, what really got me into this, man, is when I started like watching the moon landing.
The moon landing, yeah.
I see no stars back there, man. And apparently, if you're up there, you're supposed to see the stars bright and even like more bright than when you actually see
Yeah.
them from down here, right? You don't see any of that stuff up there, man.
Stories contradict each other. Some astronauts say, "Oh, we see thousands," and some say, "Oh, we just see blackness." So it's like,
Yeah,
if you guys are both going there, then what does it change?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the state of that
the
thing?
Bible also talks about, you know, the spent, the waters above and the water
And the
below.
waters below and the firmament separating
firmament,
the
exactly,
waters,
right?
yeah.
So what did that tell you? We kind of live inside kind of like a bubble, like, you know, so you can't go past,
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah,
that
we're
firmament.
contained.
We
Yeah.
contain, exactly,
Contained
you know.
system.
And the Bible talks about all this stuff, but I guess the reason they put all this out there, man, is that they don't want people to actually believe what's actually behind everything, which is
Right,
God, you know.
right. They're hiding God. They're
hiding
controlling us,
They controlling people's minds,
making
you
us
know.
think that we're worthless, just a speck.
And guess what? They probably think you're crazy, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. But you
You
know,
talk to people, man, they think you like you crazy.
yeah. But
know?
when you come to this understanding and realize what's going on, then you realize that insanity and sanity are flipped around in this world. So the people who think they live on a spinning ball, they're the crazy ones.
Yeah,
Because
they're the
they're
crazy
just believing that because they were told that when they were like little kids.
Yeah. Here's your thing, right? Have you heard about this guy? He's extremely wealthy. He's British.
Been into it for about 3-4 years.
He actually planning on going to up in space. There's 3 guys that they're extremely wealthy, and they trying to build their own space shuttle, right?
Oh yeah.
And they
What's his
build
name?
it-
Like Bronson or something?
I don't know. There's one guy that's British, and there's the
Sir
other
Richard
guy,
Branson.
and there's the other guy, the Amazon guy. What was his name?
Jeff Bezos.
Jay Bezos also
Yeah.
is building his own space shuttle, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm like thinking, why they going through all this pains to try to build a space shuttle, right? When that's already
It's
apparently
supposed to be done already.
it's already been done, and they coming out with, oh, we're building it this way because the time we get up there, it's gonna be like this. But I mean, why you going through all that heck of it, right? Trying to come out
Right.
with a space shuttle
They
to get up there.
destroyed the technology.
Yeah,
And they can't build it back.
I don't
Quote, hang on, quote. I'd go back to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
Yeah, that's what they say, right? And that was, when was the moon landing? When was that supposed to?
Supposed to be 1969 to 1972.
And you think that technology back then was better than technology now?
No.
I don't. Oh, here's the other thing, man. The internet. I don't think there's such a thing satellites out there, man.
Oh yeah, no. It's all ground towers.
It's all ground towers.
Yeah.
Otherwise, man, why would you have this bunch of towers everywhere?
Yeah, and
we get
fiber optic cables under the ocean. There, you can look up a map online that shows what it looks like on like the flat Earth map with all the fiber optic cables for the internet going across all the continents.
Yeah.
And none of the southern continents are connected to each other. They're all going up to the north. So I mean that makes sense on the flat Earth, but not on a globe Earth.
There was a satellite sending all these signal, man. There shouldn't be any wires, man. They should be just regular, you know. It's a whole bunch of stuff, man. The other thing is, man, guess what? You're not allowed to go here.
No, Antarctic Treaty.
Unless you part of the government, you know, or...
And they hold your hands and they show you penguins along the shoreline of Antarctica, but you're not allowed to travel inwards.
Yeah, you
and just explore on your own.
And guess what? The Bible also talks about this, man.
The ends of the earth.
The ends of the earth.
Yeah.
So, but that's important, man. How come people don't understand that part and don't believe that, you know, what the Bible says, but they do believe what NASA says, you know?
I think the churches have been taken over. The pastors are not interested in the truth. It's a business.
Because if they go against it, guess what?
Yeah.
The government starts saying, okay, now you got to pay taxes.
Yep.
I learned about this, that the reason churches nowadays are part of the government is because in order for them not to pay taxes, they have to do and say what the government wants.
The government curriculum.
Yeah. Otherwise, if they go against it, now they're going to have to pay taxes.
Right.
And churches don't want to do that.
No.
So guess what? They're no longer churches, man. To me, they are like business.
Exactly, yeah.
Like,
I don't go to those places anymore.
Give me a free taxes pass, and I say whatever you want, and we're friends. But if I go up against you, then I will have to pay taxes. They don't like that, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And another thing in the Bible, in Job, I believe it is, the earth is turned as clay to the seal. So like when you have like a signet ring, like the kings wore that ring with a stamp on it, and they would put clay or wax on the letter that they're gonna send, and they stamp it down and press it in, and that's their signature. And that's how the earth is, you know, with the upturned edges. So, I mean, Antarctica, you know?
I guess
so it's like this shape.
The one reason people probably still believe about the globe, you know, that the earth is, you know, above, is because when you see the sun and the moon, they look around. But then again, you know, that's how God built things, you know. That doesn't really
we
mean...
see those celestial objects moving, and then they tell us that we're the ones moving.
Yeah, we're the ones moving. That's what they say, you know. And but everything comes down to, you look Genesis, you know, God explains everything.
Yeah, everything's flipped around.
That's the beauty, man. God already knew this was going to happen. That mankind was going to try to confuse, you know, and turn the word of God around to confuse people. And that's what God, you know, put everything on Genesis for people not to be deceived, you know, but apparently still people getting deceived, you know.
Yeah, exactly, because they don't have the love of the truth.
What make you guys want to do this, man?
You know, it's just coming together. We had a conference yesterday, Flattoberfest. We had about 200 people come to a place called The Firmament. This guy's a flat earther, so he has this like a venue, and we had speakers on stage, and you know, we just come together as a community and share information and you know, network with each other, and you know, we just have like a strong desire to tell people the truth and not withhold it like the government's doing. You know what I mean? Like, we have to do the right thing.
Past 55 degrees.
Right now, you guys can do this, man. But probably 10 years from now, man, or 20 years from now, man, you and I were talking about this, man.
we'll see about that. I mean, we're definitely making some headway. There's more and more people waking up to this every day, so it's like it's a numbers game at this point. You know, we gotta turn the tide. And I've heard, I don't know for sure, but I've heard that the latest numbers out of Brazil is there's about 11 million people who believe in flat Earth in Brazil. Yeah, and according to Nat Geo, about 6 million people here.
Do you hear what happened in Chicago about this guy? I don't know if he was taking a picture or video or
The Chicago skyline?
Yeah, where he was able to see, he was in Chicago, he was able to see across the lake.
Yeah, right here.
And doing a demonstration of that data.
That's the picture.
And then I should
And
be
then
able
they
to
come out,
duplicate
oh,
that.
well, that was a reflection, you
So how
know,
would
it's
you
not what
duplicate
he's
A mirage.
Yeah, they come out with something like,
Yeah, the mirages are upside down.
So
Hey,
what
if the
science
earth
has
was
started to
like a
become is
globe,
more religion,
that guy
where
wouldn't be
people
able to
base their
video film
beliefs
that.
and where
Yeah, exactly. And so Rob Skiba, he's one of the speakers that was there yesterday. He actually made a video going across the lake, looking at that mirage, and just filming it the entire way, waiting for it to disappear, and then keep going over the curvature to see the real city. But it was the same the whole way, it just got bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So it's not a mirage.
And they also say, well, if you stay on the beach, right, you see a boat and it just disappear, you know. It's not that the boats go around, you know, it just disappears because it's getting really far away,
It's
you know.
perspective right here.
you know, so when it's contained
You know?
and it's not moving.
We know that
From point
the
A to
lanes
point B
don't
across,
merge into each other. That's just how we see.
Yeah,
You know,
because we
it's
cannot see that far.
parallel lines appear to converge with our perspective in a distance, but we know that doesn't happen. So it's just the limit of our vision. The horizon is horizontal always. That's why they call it horizon. So that's just the limit of our vision. It's not like the leading edge of a curve of a ball or anything.
But what do you think they want to see people, man?
Okay, so-
What's the whole purpose, you know?
So if we're gonna
It's
just gonna say
control,
on the shoreline,
keep everyone down. I mean,
on
that's
the ocean and
really
keep
the only way for
and,
a relatively small amount of people in the world who want control. The only way for them to control like 7 billion people is to control our minds. They're not going to use it by force. It's by, you know, changing our perception of reality, and then we submit ourselves to them.
Okay.
That's how it works.
Just kind of to whatever they say.
Eyes where the
Yeah,
ceiling
Sure.
and we're supposed to submit to God,
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
ramping up together.
not the government.
And they converge together.
And most people just submit to the government because
So depending upon
they
the
said
particles
so,
in the
and
air,
government
you know,
knows best.
We can't see
Okay, but-
forever to fall.
But this, I think this is the beginning. What do you think about that new idea crop? They, you know, they forcing you now to have in order to fly commercial.
Well,
What do you
on
mean?
an airplane, you
Now you have to get a new ID.
Oh yeah, yeah, I heard about
And
that.
then the microchip crop too.
It's just more control, you know,
That's control.
because then they can take it away at any time.
Apparently, that new idea is like the GPS they put on your driver's license,
Yeah,
right? So technically, they can track you, right? So now they call it the chip, right?
right.
But here's the thing, right? When you go buy something at the store, what's the first thing they ask? Oh, you have a chip?
Oh yeah, they track anyone like with a bunch of different means.
But what they're trying to do right now, I mean, is to get people used to the idea of chip.
Yeah,
Because the whole idea behind it is that eventually they will be like, oh, that car is not safe no more. We want
Yeah.
to keep it more safe.
You gotta
So
put it
let's
in
go
your
ahead and
hand.
put a chip on your hand because that way no one can steal your information, right? But right now people getting used to the idea like chip, right? You heard that everywhere.
yeah, man, you're on point with that.
Yeah. So people are getting used to, okay, chip, yeah, I have a chip.
Yeah.
You have a chip? Yeah, I have a chip. You have a chip? You have a chip. So now people getting used to that, right?
Even at 35,000.
Probably 5 years from now, man, 10 years from now, man, they're gonna start chipping you, man. They will be like, well, it's not safe. If you don't have that, you're not gonna be able to go buy because your credit card is not good no more, or your
Yeah.
debit card, even though it has a chip, it's not safe no more.
Yeah, we're being conditioned to
Being
accept that
conditioned
in
to
the
accept the
future.
chip, yeah, and we're not that far away from it, man.
Yeah,
Back in Illinois,
yeah, I'm with you on that.
Back in Illinois, there's a company where they actually already chip all their employees.
Yeah, I think it was in Sweden or something like that.
No, here in the United States.
Oh really?
There's a business, a company. I think there's like 100 to 200 employees. employees.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They already got
yeah,
the
there
chip,
too.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because apparently it's safer.
Yeah.
They can unlock their car, right? They can just
More
unlock their home.
convenient.
Yeah, more convenient, all that stuff, man.
Yeah, no.
Dude, is it really hard, man, to go unlock your car, man, when you're kidding? It's not, man. Is it really hard for you to go unlock your house with a chip? Come on, man. Stop being lazy, you know? But it's just all controlling, man.
I'm gonna look into it. We gotta catch up.
And the saddest thing is, man, how can you pull away from that, man?
I gotta run, actually. Thank you.
And I'm seeing a lot of people
Don't question authority.
going along with it, even in churches, man.
Trust your government. They
Even
love you.
Christians, they call themselves
Yeah,
Christians.
people really need to learn how to think for themselves.
But it's too late, man. I don't think that was.
Well, I mean, that's why we're here.
It will be a very small percentage of people, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you guys just got this set up right now. How many people actually have time to talk to you about this?
Well, we've been here, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes.
You guys should have one
Like
of those,
dozen or 2 dozen actually like conversations maybe. I don't know. But I mean, you know, we just come out here and we try to reach as many people as possible. And you know, then we reach more people that way, and then they get that seed planted, and then they go tell other people.
Give them a website where they can actually go to and just.
Yeah, we have that.
And
That's for you.
that way.
Flat Earth 101.
So that way they can leave their comment there. you know?
Yeah, we have that.
And that way say, oh yeah, I met this guy here and so, and we talked about it, right? That's how people will start like, this might sound taboo, you know, if this is the first time they heard of it, but the more you start, you know, digging, the more you start doing your own research, you come to the conclusion, man, that the globe Earth is all BS, man.
Exactly, yeah.
And it will take a long time before people actually start waking up, you know what's going on.
Yeah, but you know, one person at a time. That's what we got to do. That's how it happens. Here's my channel, Critical Inception.
I got a YouTube channel.
I'll subscribe to your channel, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
there's another guy in California or Colorado, man, who's doing the same thing you're doing.
Oh, who's that?
They do seminars over there, man. They're huge, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. I see this picture here. I think he was there.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the guy's name, but if you look it up on YouTube,
Yeah.
you will find this guy. He's here from the United States. But I think he lives in California or Colorado, somewhere over there. And he's actually the one was one of the first ones that come out with Flat Earth.
Okay. If I had like a channel or something or saw his material, I'd probably recognize him. I mean, I'm pretty familiar with the
He's
community of
very famous
people.
on this, platform, because he was the one. He actually been challenging these big time guys on TV, you know.
Oh
He
yeah.
actually done a lot of things.
Nathan Thompson? Is that who you're thinking of?
I think so. Yeah, he was the one who actually been challenging all these people, you know. But they're trying to kind of like put him down, you know. They're trying to like.
Yeah. He goes all over the place.
Yeah.
Who cares about money? Who cares about
It would take a lot, man, boy. I'm glad you guys doing all this, man.
Yeah, man. I
Help
appreciate
people
that.
to understand, man. All right, brother. Nice
All right,
talking
yeah,
to you,
good
man.
chatting.
Take care, man.
I'm Alex, by the way. What's your name?
I'm Caesar, man.
Caesar. Nice to meet you. Take care. Cool guy. This is fun. He's on point. Yeah. This is awesome. I like doing it in a group.
Yeah, it's easier. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why does air change directions when you
We
get
can
in a
like
plane?
feed off of each other, you know?
Yeah.
Why does air change directions when you get in a plane? Why does the air follow me? Is it after me? Is it gonna get me? Don't question anything. Trust your government. They love you. Government is your deity. You must obey. You must obey. Don't question the science. Only, believe scientists, because scientists are more trustworthy than the real science. Don't look for curvature. Don't look for spin. Don't look for how a vacuum protects the air pressure without a barrier. Of course you live on a spinning space ball. Smarter men than you have already figured out. How dare you question? Don't even look. Don't even look. You live on a spinning space ball, of course. You're just a speck of dust in the vastless universe of nothingness. Of course. They would never lie. They love you. Trust your government. We love you, government deity. We love you. You didn't know that was sarcasm. Believe in the spinning ball. Trust your government. Trust your law. Don't look for curvature. Don't look for movement. Of course, you live on a spinning space ball. What else would it be? All the lights in the skies are circles. Why aren't we? Of course, all the balls on the table are spherical. And the table is too. Why do they lie? Why do they lie? Ask somebody who didn't tell the lie why somebody else lied. Don't question anything. Trust your government. They love you. Don't look for curvature. Don't look for the movement. Don't look for air sticking next to a vacuum without a barrier. Don't look. Too much proof. Don't look. You live on a spinning space ball, of course. Giant vacuum next to air pressure doesn't matter because scientists said so. Trust your government. Hydrostatic. Hold on. Prove it. I want to see a scientific test that shows water sticking to the exterior of a spinning sphere. Show it to me. Show it to me. Don't try to friends who already know. Show what you've done. Prove the ball to me. Prove me the ball. No curvature, no movement, no worries. Trust the ball. Trust scientists.
But they do get a lot out of it. I got you. Just the money alone.
I guess that makes sense.
Air next to a vacuum. What separates the two? The ozone layer? Is the ozone layer made of glass?
Excuse me, sir. I got some interesting earth science for you. Check it out.
Trust your government, love your government, they love you back. Don't ever question anything. Science is deity. Never went to the moon. Propaganda piece.
How dare you?
Don't you dare question the government.
I'm a baby boomer.
They've never lied about anything.
We put a man in
Don't look at the Gulf of Tonkin. Of course we needed to go to Vietnam. Trust your government. Love your government. They love you back. You live on a spinning space ball. Don't look for curvature. Don't look for movement. Don't look to air next to a vacuum without a barrier. Don't look. If you like your life the way it is, don't ever look at this information because it will ruin your life. You will no longer believe that you live on a spinning space ball. You will realize that this place was designed and you were put here on purpose. Don't look. Whatever you do, don't look. Don't look for curvature. Don't look for movement. Don't look to a vacuum next to space. Check it out, man.
Change your
Watching everything, man. The government would never lie to you, right? They always tell you the truth. Yeah. Not so much, right? Not so much. Government loves you. They would never lie. They don't want your money. They give you taxes for free or something. They tax you for free. No longer do you have to pay a tax. Don't question your government deity.
Hey, one guy came back up to me, like, okay, one more question.
Why would they?
Man, I don't know, but NASA alone gets $56 million.
58 now. It's 58 now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Got to upgrade your
shenanigans. And then I break into, but if that's not enough,
This is what I say. If somebody lied to you, am I going to know the reason?
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's how I end it. I say, that's like asking somebody that's not a psychopath why a psychopath poses.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thank you, Daddy Government.
It's highly
for
illogical.
I'm sorry I have to give some of it back. Don't question government. You live on a spinning space ball. Don't look
Hey, do you want some of the Bible flyers?
Yeah.
Don't look for vacuum next to air pressure without a barrier.
Yep.
Of course you live on a spinning space ball. Why would you even question it? How dare you question the government? They know everything. They love you. They would never lie.
You want some of these?
Don't look for curvature. Don't look for movement. Of course you live on a spinning space ball. Yes and no, like, because some people are so turned off about the idea of the Bible, they won't even look at this. But if
Oh
they
yeah,
look
no,
into this,
no.
they'll
I
get
mean,
to the Bible.
I
you know what
only
mean?
get to that point if I you
Or
gotta
if you,
sense
if
it
you,
out,
if
feel
they
it out.
trigger, like,
Yeah.
they're Christian or
Like
whatever.
this guy I just spoke with, he brought up the Bible, so I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
you're gonna like this.
Don't look for curvature. Don't look for movement. Don't look at how a vacuum sticks next to a air pressure without a barrier. How does that work? Oh, don't ask it. No questions. No questions. Trust your government. Love your government. They would never lie to you. Don't trust these believers that the fall is safe. Of course, there's reading scientists have figured it out with math many years ago. Even though they've never seen it, who cares? Math. Math. Math is your deity. He's flying it. He was flying it. Trust your scientists, not science. Don't look for curvature. Don't look for movement. Don't look for a vacuum next to an air pressure without a barrier. Of course you live on a spinning space ball. Don't question anything. Your government loves you. They would never lie. Don't look for curvature. Don't look for movement. Don't look for air next to a vacuum without a barrier. It's okay. You live on a spinning space ball and giant vacuum space. It will never fuck up there.
You know, there's more people come around because of
Turn the ball to yourself and it comes crumbling down. There's no physical proof of the spinning ball. None. Don't measure the ceiling to figure out the shape of the floor. I'm going to measure my cathedral ceilings because I want to buy some carpet for floor. Don't question anything. Love your government, they love you back. Don't look for
Yeah,
don't
that's
look
messed
for
up.
sin. Just believe. Scientists would never
Yeah.
lie. They've
That's-
never been paid to lie.
It's that red shade. And then the squirrels.
Never lied about meat before.
I know they've been finding all kinds of different rodents and stuff on Mars
They've never
lately.
lied about other
Devon Island.
Yeah.
incidents that happened on a date that I can't even mention without getting triggered. What's the emergency number again? Oh yeah. It happened just like they said. Those dang box cutters, they took over the world.
Building 7.
Don't look at building 7. Don't look at building 6. Don't look at building 9. 1 and 2 is the only ones that fell.
Yeah.
Of course the plane disappeared after it crashed into the Pentagon. Duh. How else would it happen?
It's hard to use.
Ooh, my hair. My hair.
Going.
Don't look for curvature. Don't look for spin. You just need to stay with the ball.
Maybe $100 right now if you could
Don't look for curvature.
here, just take it.
I left one on the stairs and people just glaze over it.
Really?
Yeah.
You can tell it's not real, maybe?
Maybe.
Or maybe they're just too
Hello, everybody out there in YouTube. Your pants for all is actually the bottle. I'm with Scuba Dracula.
What's up?
Critical Inception.
Critical Inception. We got Just Jack over there with the megaphone.
Joshua's up there.
Yeah, Joshua.
Top.
Authentic Intent is up on top. You guys have to get out.
You got a
and
crowd
try
up there?
This is my
There's
first
a
time.
Navy guy up there. I was talking to him. He's
Really?
really open-minded to it, actually. He was
Interesting.
a good conversation.
Yeah.
These people were sitting at the table were completely rude. They didn't want to hear a word I was saying.
What's
They told me to
that?
go away.
What's that Navy guy's? The missile instructor, Corey.
No, I'm not sure. Are you familiar with Luke from Fire with Consequences? It used to be his channel. I think he changed it.
No.
I think he was Navy or Army, military of some sort.
It's so exciting.
Yeah, you believe in cartoon things, but don't look at the reality of your world.
Would you like some information?
Please question. Don't trust government. They lie.
Oh, not at all. Not really.
So,
Could I have one?
Of course we went to the moon. Even though we can't get through the
Here's an interesting one too.
Thank
We
you.
love
Yeah.
the technology. of
Would you like one?
And somehow we can't get back.
yeah, it's
Don't question anything. Scientists are real.
Yeah, have a great day,
They've
guys.
never
care.
been paid to lie about cigarettes and asbestos. Scientists would never lie.
I think his
Don't
name
look
is
for curvature. Don't look for spin.
Sean
Of course you live
McCrary.
on a spinning space
Okay.
ball.
the naval missile instructor that spoke with Mark Sargent.
Oh, and here I heard
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, I never
The
heard
Sparrow.
the interview or anything. No.
Yeah, Sparrow missile.
We got Critical Inception here, guys. Sub his channel.
Hey.
Needs 1,000 subs too to live stream.
So I'm kind of thinking more what Joshua was saying, live streaming long time for a long period of time, but it might actually not be so great because you get the trolls
Yeah,
coming,
yeah,
right?
trolls.
Just maybe short bursts, they might do it with it.
Yep. These people got some flyers. They were laughing
These guys?
in like a, you know, calm way. Ooh. Right here, this group. Yeah, he handed them some stuff. And
Oh, they already got it.
They were smiling and. You know.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He's loving that thing, huh? Just Jack over there killing it with the mic.
420, right? That has just as much value as a $100 bill.
What?
Terra Esplana. Terra Esplana. Don't look for curvature. Don't look for spin. Of course you
Flag,
live
go to the
down a
top of the
hole
hill.
within.
We're at the top of the hill, and then
You have a vacuum and you have air
people are
pressure,
like
but no barrier.
walking
What
by
is
us,
air
like,
spin?
"Oh, you guys are idiots," but little they know they're getting bombarded coming down here.
Oh
Don't look for
yeah. Okay.
curvature. Don't look for spin.
Good idea.
Of course, air pressure can stick next to a vacuum without a barrier. What are you thinking? Don't question your government. Of course, they would never lie to you. Science, math.
Prove it for yourself.
Water works. How it always finds its level and lays flat. Don't worry about how water level is the same from California to Australia with no bend, no curvature measured ever. No curvature, no spin ever measured. There is no device that can measure curvature or spinning. You do not live on a spinning spitball in a giant vacuum. You are not a speck of dust that was put here accidentally. Boom, there you are. Boom, there you go. Don't look for curvature. Don't look for spinning. Whatever you do, trust your scientists, trust your government. They would never lie. They love you.
Never landed on the moon.
Taxes are great. That's why they keep.
Not really here.
Taxes are great. That's why they keep raising them, because they're so great. Don't question government. Don't look for the curvature. Don't look for spin. Don't look how a vacuum sticks there next to air pressure without a barrier. Don't look. Don't look. It'll ruin your world.
We're not floating speck of dust going
Don't look.
Thanks for yeah, absolutely.
Don't take the flyers. Don't read the information.
Go on.
Don't
Want some information?
Trust your government. They would never lie. They love you.
Any questions?
Your government loves you.
Take a look.
We're painkillers. We landed on the moon.
Mind
Hey
boggling.
man, here's a map for you.
What have you done? In
Yeah, you heard
1968,
people
we
say,
landed
"Oh,
on
I
the moon,
can
but
see
now we can't build the
curvature from an
technology to
airplane,
go
right?"
back. How convenient.
128,000 feet.
We can't make it through the Van Allen radiation belt. So you ask an astronaut, how did you make it through the Van Allen radiation belt? They say, well, we didn't know about it, so we just went right through it.
They go from Australia,
If you
Chile,
don't believe, then
they
it
come all
won't
the
burn
way
you.
up here to the United States first,
Crazy astronaut.
and then they come down here. But if you do it on a flat Earth map, it's just a straight line.
Don't look for a barrier between a vacuum and an air pressure. Of course it works.
They've been lying to us about a lot of stuff.
Of course you
People
live on
ask,
a
well,
spinning
why would they
spitball.
lie?
We're down 2,500 years ago with that.
NASA gets $58 million every single day.
I have a negative one donut.
But this is what I noticed too.
Math can never lie.
You know, everybody has their opinion and stuff.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
For sure. But what I noticed too is that, I mean, it's kind of sketchy because if you look at
Look for the curvature. Look for the
pictures of
spin. Oops, I mean, don't look for curvature. Don't look for spin. Trust your government. They love you.
They do. They really do.
Yeah, well,
So, you know, they got to
to
be
tell you they're
$58 million a day to present you a CGI.
for sure.
They have the only real picture they
Don't
claim
look
to
for
have ever
curvature.
taken
Don't
was
look
on
for
the
spin.
Apollo moon mission.
Yeah.
Don't look for the barrier between
And
the
I don't
vacuum
believe
and the
that
air
ever
pressure.
happened.
sure,
You know?
Of course, we live on a spinning
But
spitball.
yeah, we
Trust
can't.
scientists, not
They won't
science.
let us go to Antarctica. You and I couldn't jump in on a boat or a plane and just go there. You have to get special sanctions. It's a nature preserve, they call it.
Right.
And nothing lives there.
Of course, you live on a spinning
Penguins.
spaceball.
Right.
Like that's it. So why
Don't
would they
look
cut
at
that off
lights
and tell us we can't go there?
because
You know?
they have to
Man,
take
want some
those
information?
extra distances because
It's a good study.
the ball morphs
It's a lot of stuff to it.
We're testing it, and It doesn't make
Don't
sense.
look for
Like this.
curvature. Don't look for
50
movement. Of course,
miles
you live on
away,
a spinning
right?
baseball.
50 miles.
Don't look for a vacuum.
Think about all the first-hand proof you have of a spinning ball. You don't have any first-hand proof.
A friend of mine, he is doctor here, also talking about the situation that maybe there was no preventive. I don't think so.
Think about first-hand proof.
Don't look at the information.
Do you take me on cam now? Do you take me on your cam?
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. Do you want to check it out?
I do not want this.
No?
Okay.
You're down 2,500 years.
All right, take care.
I see. Yeah, we just want to share.
That doesn't lie at all.
No, exactly.
That doesn't lie. No. If you do the math, I mean, it adds up, you know?
Yeah, yeah, that's where they messed up.
Yeah.
They gave themselves a barrier.
Don't listen.
And then now that we have
Don't
these
listen to these
long
flat earthers.
distance cameras and we have all this new technology that we can use,
Right.
we didn't before, now we can test it and we're finding out that it was wrong.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. For sure.
And maybe they didn't.
Trust your
You
scientists.
know, maybe it wasn't a nefarious lie that they were spinning at the beginning. But if they figured it out that it was flat,
Yeah.
you know, they're not going to tell you after they told you it was a ball for
feel you,
100 years.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the Bible says it's flat.
It does. It really does.
Yeah,
I
and they
agree.
don't want people leading science, you know, this organization they built up that you hear science, it's like, oh, a scientist did it.
Your government would never lie to you because they love you.
If they were wrong about this,
Yeah.
nobody's going to believe anything science says anymore. They're all going to go running back to religion.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're scared of it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, man, check that out.
You're living
Bible.
on a little speck of dust floating through space, and it doesn't matter what you do. Your life is insignificant.
Right.
When in reality, this place is there for us, and we're important.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah. That's true. That is very true.
Yeah, we're just trying to get the word out, man.
I feel you. Yeah.
Doing our part. You
I
know,
feel you. Yeah, yeah.
these guys
Doing
are
something you love,
very
you know?
passionate about this. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
I
it
feel
changed
you.
our lives. You know, I'd be at home playing video games probably right
I
now.
feel you. Yeah, I feel you on that one.
Yeah.
I feel you on that one.
And then I heard about all this, and I was like, man,
I don't know.
no way. You know,
I'm going to take a drink, man.
Naive water.
And then I went out to Lake Michigan myself.
No, this is
And I saw,
AXA.
AXA.
and it just changed my life. I've been,
Don't AXA, no questions.
We gotta ask what their proof of the globe is.
Please, please bring me back to the ball. I want to spin once and for all. I know that it's spinning. I know that it's round. Even though curvature can never be found. Rat-a-tat-tat, the cat is fat. Don't look for curvature, don't look for spin. Of course you live on a spinning space ball, even though it's never been measured. No motion detected, no curvature measured, but of course you live on a spinning space ball. Don't look at how a vacuum is next to an air pressure without a barrier. Of course it works. Science would never lie. Science loves you. It doesn't matter how much money or fame you offer them, they would never lie. Science loves you. Don't look for curvature. Don't look for movement. Don't look at how a vacuum sits next to air pressure without a barrier. Your government would never lie. They love you. They love you. Taxes are great. That's why they keep raising them. Don't look for curvature. Don't look for movement. Of course you live on a spinning space ball. Don't question anything. Walk your government. Education is great. They just keep you regurgitating the same information, and I'm sure you will learn things new.
That's what I'm saying.
you can't see over the curb if you're standing up.
Don't look at it, sir. It's going to ruin your life.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Even though there's no curvature and no spin, of course you live on a ball.
Egyptian cosmology, Norse cosmology, Aztec, Incas, Maya,
Butterball cosmology.
India. I mean,
What about
everybody
science?
believes-
What about math? What about government? They told you, you live on a spinning space ball. How dare you question?
Yeah,
Never question your government
look
deity.
at it with an open mind and use-
Always trust
use your
science.
own
They would
sense.
never lie.
Right. Is it cool if I take a picture?
Who cares about cigarettes and asbestos?
Hey man, you want a map? Find out where you live?
Perpetuating the ball belief in your children. You live on a spinning ball and you're worthless and nothing because you came here out of the Big Bang. You're a speck of dust in a giant vacuum. I hope nobody flips the switch. Watch Spaceballs. That's real science.
Yeah, we just
Giant
had a,
made in outer space with a vacuum.
Flat Earth conference
Yeah.
here.
Oh, for real?
Spaceballs!
Well, Where was it? What town?
Which one?
The Flat Earth Conference last night?
Greenville.
Greenville.
Was it Greenville?
Yeah.
Oh man.
And we had over 200 people there.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A venue called the Firmament.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy's a flat
Check it
earther.
out. The owner's a Flat
Of course you
Earther.
live on a spinning space ball. Don't question anything. Your government loves you. They would never lie. Don't question anything.
Yeah, just it's crazy, man.
You need to go back to normal. Here, color. Obey your government. Obey.
It's cool though. It's cool, you know.
Yeah, it made me look at the world. It's like I'm a child again.
Hey, I got some information for you. Earth science. It's good stuff.
Don't look for curvature. Don't look for movement. Of course you live on a spinning space ball. Trust your government. They love you. They love
Yeah,
you.
that's what we do. And I'm part of a group called
Don't believe the stories that they put you in meat grinders.
They shot a laser over Lake Balaton over in Hungary.
Don't look for curvature. Don't look for movement. Of course you live on a spinning space ball. Please, please, bring me back to the ball. I can't find any curvature or movement at all. Don't look at curvature. Don't look at movement.
At some point, there's going to be some kind of slip or some kind of unleveling.
Oh, you can't see the curve.
Don't question it. Don't look.
You're trying to at least going to see it this way from a boat going over or the bottom of the building being cut off. Yeah. You know, but
obey your government.
50 miles from this side of the
Never mind.
there should
They
be
love
a
you.
nice big curve there.
Don't look for curvature. Don't look for spin. Don't look for a vacuum next to space in the air and like no barrier and whatnot. What?
The sun is just above the earth. You don't understand that small part of it at a time.
I have to be. Where do I go?
I believe it's that Zach, man. Chris, nice to meet you. Yeah.
I'm Alex.
Chris, nice to meet you.
Yeah, man.
We've been at this
It's a great study.
Oh yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Change your life.
It's cool to see, you know, like I said, regardless of what people feel, what people think, you know, it's cool to see people out here that believe something different, you know, and want to show what they feel and believe, you know. Yeah.
You know, this is my first time, man.
Yeah.
I was nervous, but once you get out here and start doing it,
It's way better in a group. Yeah.
It's easy. It's so easy to come out here and just share what you know.
For sure. And it's really cool, you know, because I even see people out here, you know, preaching and stuff. That takes guts, man.
It's not easy.
Even on like 4th of July or Fall for Greenville or something like that, you know.
Well, we have a guy, he's up there right now, and he's from Minnesota. He came down for the conference.
Yeah.
And he walks around the Minnesota Twins park, and he just screams, "Earth is flat, people!" And telling everybody, and they come up and talk to him. And
The University of Minnesota goes there too.
He's wherever he can find large groups of people, he's out there almost every day.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are really intimate about it. Because and it has nothing to do with science. It has to do with we've been lied to about people who put our trust in.
Yeah, I believe, personally, I believe there's some truth behind, you know, as far as the sun and stuff. But this right here does explain a lot too, you know, for sure.
Yeah, the sun and the moon, we have no idea.
Yeah.
We can't know. Right. We can't go up there and check. We don't know how far they are. We don't know how big they are.
Yeah.
And we all know this. We don't claim to know any of this stuff. For sure. They look like lights in the sky. So we try to stick to, you know, with that stuff too much.
Yeah.
Because that's our beliefs.
Right.
Right. All this stuff we can prove, sun measurements we've taken,
yeah.
You know, it disproves their math. We want to share the flight path stuff. I mean, it's hard to look around, you know?
Yeah. I was on a game one time, and I play Fortnite stuff, you know.
You hear about the kid who hacked Fortnite?
Yeah.
I'm staying at his house right now.
For real?
Jaron Odell. Yeah, his dad is a flat earther.
Oh man.
One of the bigger flat earthers in the United States. He's got a pretty big channel. Yeah, his name's Globebusters.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he was at the conference yesterday.
Yeah, he was at the conference. Yeah. But yeah, Jaron is dude on a computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's awesome.
He's a flat earther.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, oh,
That's
yeah.
cool.
He
That's
knows.
cool. I believe it.
Oh, you were playing Fortnite, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I was playing with this little kid, and we were playing one time, you know. I asked him what does he think if the Earth is flat or round, and he said it was flat because if you're on the top of the Earth, you can jump and come back down, but if you're on the bottom, if you jump, you're gonna go out of space. And I just thought, I thought it was, you know, kind of funny, you know, but it kind of makes sense though. It kind of makes sense though. It really does kind of make sense.
Logic you had when you were a child, just that common sense. You haven't been taught that everything gets sucked to the center of this and that.
Yeah.
That's what I asked when my mom told me that we lived on that. I was like, get out of here.
And then after that, we made a joke that breaking news: 70-year-old boy saw the flat round Earth theory. And that's so funny, man. But I told him, I was like, dude, you're so smart. You know Isaac Newton? And just naming some random people, you know? And then he was like, no. And I was like, bro, you're number 4 of the smartest people in the world, you know, playing around with them. But it was so funny. But I told him and he was like, you for real? And I was like, no, I'm just kidding. But no, that was really smart, you know? I was really good.
Yeah, when we're young, we know this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Just common sense.
Yeah.
But they have to program it out. That's why they tell us this stuff when we're this tall. You walk into your kindergarten class, there's a globe sitting right there on the teacher's desk or right behind it.
Yeah.
When you're watching TV now, look in the background. Every single show will have a globe. That's programming.
For sure.
That is subliminal programming.
Yeah.
Because you're not paying attention to it. You're watching the people and their mouths and what they say.
For sure.
But the background, globe, everywhere you look.
They hook you on cartoons when you're a kid, and then when you grow up, they give you cartoons that have better graphics.
Yeah.
But they're still cartoons.
Yeah. I feel that one.
Here's my channel, by the way, Critical Inception.
This is cool.
Yeah.
I have to subscribe to you guys now, for sure.
It's wild, man.
You said you have a channel too, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have a pen?
Yeah.
I don't have a card. This is my first time coming out here doing this. I'm more of a nerdy scientist that sits in the lab and does all the experiments.
I feel you.
Yeah. So this is kind of popping my cherry out here with these guys. You know?
There you go. So a twist.
It's cool because I still play video games every once in a while.
Yeah.
I tried to punch my name, that name, into to be my character name.
Yeah.
It was already taken.
For real?
Have you ever seen anything spelled like that before?
No, never.
You know? I couldn't believe it. And I wasn't even upset. I was like, oh, that's so awesome. Somebody took my name and is using it.
I have mines, because I play competitively on Fortnite and stuff, you know?
Nice.
Trying to get ranked up into, you know, getting cash prizes and stuff. I was close one time, but my Epic, my Fortnite username is just That Snipe. That's what it is.
That Snipe?
Yeah. And it's all cash and stuff. And I got my nickname, my older brother, he raps and stuff, you know? And he also plays Fortnite, so we used to play all the time. But I would always be hitting sniper shots. I just zoom in real quick, and then if I ran on the ground and was a sniper, I'd go up and look for somebody. I'd be like, yo, that's the sniper, man. And then my boy was one of his friends, and he was like, that's snipe. That's snipe, man.
That's a cool name.
At first it was Lil Monk 13, you know, like monkeys, you know.
Yeah.
Because I used to like jump on trees and stuff when I was little, so I was like, yo, I'm a little monkey. But it was called, instead of a Y to do, it was 2 O's. So we were creative to it. But then I was like, well, I gotta change it to that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I used to play with my brother all the time, but now I play with the same guys. And I'm trying to play more competitively, you know? I'm trying to get into some tournaments, you know, even if it's small ones, you know? Trying to do that.
Yeah, that guy who hacked it, he now works for Fortnite. He's 16 years old.
For real?
Yeah, he works for Epic, going through their system and finding bugs.
That's cool.
Yeah.
There's a they're about to have a patch update to where, I don't know if you know, but the new chapter in Fortnite, there's season 10 I don't, you know season 10, but you know how they have different seasons.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, season X, there was like this big loop with like when the meteor crashed.
Yeah, the black hole.
Yeah, and the black hole, everything
yeah.
got sucked into the black hole, and they had like they made a whole new map and everything. It's so cool, and you can it's like OG vibes all over again. It's like the pump shotgun. They now have the gray. They call it the gray version of that, and the purple and the gold, the epic and legendary versions. They have new versions of the burst assault rifle or the purple and the epic and legendary one. You know, the more powerful. Yeah. Have an AR or something, or like a pistol.
Yeah.
You can notice that when you're what's it called? Yeah.
But you don't believe the Bible.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, with the burst, what it will do when it locks on all the way,
You're a faker and a liar.
and it takes a second to go back in. But with the new burst, what it does is it shoots and it goes back in instantly. Shoots, goes back in instantly.
Yeah.
So you ain't got no in between time. You got more accuracy. You know?
Readjust it.
Yeah. They got rid of the Deagle, the big pistol, and they just have the regular pistol, but it's an epic and legendary.
Oh, wow. So
It-
just as strong,
oh my
but
God.
a lot
I
more
was
control.
I had a SMG and I dropped it for a legendary pistol, and I was just walking around and someone ran up on me. I didn't even see him, you know. He came up behind me. He was not. And I was like, what? And I was like, yo, this gun is so awesome. I was like, if I had the choice to have the SMG over a purple or a legendary pistol, I'm gonna pick the pistol. I mean, if I have like a epic or a legendary submachine gun, then I'd pick that, you know.
Yeah.
But if I have a blue, let's say a blue SMG, right, or a purple or gold pistol, I'm gonna pick the pistol, you know. So, there's so much damage. I was like, probably if we were on the game right now, I was probably from here to like over there, you know. So I was here and the other team was over there.
Excuse me, sir. I got some information for you. It's a good study. All right. Think of all the proofs firsthand that you have that you live on a spinning ball. Try doing it without using NASA or any government agency. You just remember from school, right?
You want it back or no? Thank you.
We never landed on the moon, sir. You can't prove that.
I don't know. I could build better on PC. I mean, no, I could aim better on PC, but it was hard for me to build, you know?
Yeah.
So I was just like, and plus, you know, controller has aim assist, you know? And with the new aim assist that you can have, you can choose to use if you want to or not, with the new settings, it just makes it much better. Yeah. Because with the old settings, I would have to L2 spam, you know? Spam it to keep locking on, you know? To my target. And my sensitivity, my regular sensitivity, not my aim sensitivity, the regular one.
Excuse me, sir. This is for you.
Okay, good. I got a time
Earth is flat. Here's for you information on the Earth.
Oh, you woke?
Check it out. Check it out. Space is fake. NASA lies. Search bubbles in space. They're in a swimming pool on the spacewalks.
Hey man, you ever heard of Flat Earth?
I'm all woke.
You
Well, you
guys
see my
mob those
shirt?
guys? Nice.
See my shirt?
Fucking big group of people laughing, fucking yelling at them.
Oh yeah.
Jack's getting
That's
yelled at by people over here.
group think for you.
Make a banner up here.
Oh, nice. Hey, good spot for it. Water always seeks its level.
Check out those water, guys.
Like a mirror. Yo, look into flat Earth? Nah? Space is fake. You ever seen curvature? You ever seen curvature of the Earth? It doesn't exist. Can't find it.
Don't look for a vacuum next to an air pressure without a barrier. It doesn't work. Check out the information. It'll swash your clothes. Water always finds its level. If you're a construction worker, you know this, man.
Here, yeah.
Here's some homework for you.
If you're an engineer, you know that you've never measured 8 inches per mile squared.
Man, you want to check this out?
Absolutely, thank you.
Acreage of land, miles of road, curvature never expected.
Make sure you work on your GED.
We live on a flat stationary plane. No mechanical device can ever measure movement or curvature. You do not live on a spinning baseball.
It works, you know.
Put a bubble.
Baseball with a tape measure.
Put a bubble in a vacuum. See why it doesn't pop. That's our atmosphere against
curvature. I can measure a baseball with a tape measure.
That's right. Exactly. That's measurable curvature, but you can't do it with the globe.
You said no one can measure curvature.
Of the globe. That's what you're supposed to
I need a recording to play that back. That's not what I heard.
Okay, you cannot measure curvature on the globe. How's that?
Only because I don't have a big enough tape measure.
They already have a formula. It's right. Where's the formula? Formula. Right here.
Every mile is to drop 8 inches.
Every mile squared is 8 inches.
And so all this matters because if it's flat, if it's round, if it's a triangle,
it's like
if it's
this.
a hex cube, and we're just all layers deep.
Lying to you on purpose?
Yeah. That's the question.
What would it benefit them by making us believe?
Okay, so I'll give you a couple of reasons, okay? But
Do you know how much money we give to starving artists every day?
Zero.
A ton. Billions of dollars every year.
I don't give anything to starving artists.
Do you pay taxes?
I'm not going to answer that question. I don't have to answer these questions.
So you're a criminal.
Anyways.
With a megaphone.
Maybe I am. You can judge me.
You pay taxes.
Well, you're judging. You did pay taxes if you bought something. He's right about that.
Hey, I got some information for you.
Absolutely.
Well, if you bought it, you pay taxes.
It's a great study. Even if you don't believe it, really makes you smart.
So give me the quick
quantification.
All right.
breakdown of this.
So you got to think about what kind of proofs you have for a spinning Earth globe that we've all been taught. They just tell you that's how it is. They teach you when you're young. Get them while they're young, right?
Yeah.
And then you just believe it. And they tell you the alternative used to be flat Earth. They don't tell you why. They just said like, yeah, they kind of used to believe it was flat, but they were stupid. Now we're smart.
Yeah.
And they give you a false model, like a straw man argument, showing this square in space, which is not what flat Earth is at all.
Yeah.
Like, we don't even think space is real because you can't have gas pressure without a container. They say that there's a vacuum of space above us. And they say if you go high enough, you know, there's no pressure. But we know here on Earth that high pressure moves to low pressure. It's just basic science. And the only way it doesn't is if you have a barrier in between the two.
Oh yeah, absolutely they lie.
So they kind of play on this idea of having gas pressure next to a vacuum with the idea of the firmament, which there is a barrier. We don't know if there's a vacuum on the other side. Most people think it's water, actually, due to ancient texts mention that. But the firmament is something that's a physical barrier above us over a flat plane.
A lot of people think like surrounding, if the Earth was flat. I'm not saying it is or isn't, but like surrounding the outside, there's this ice wall or something.
Well, that would be in Antarctica, and it kind of explains. It ties into the idea of the Antarctic Treaty. Of you see all those flags over there on Antarctica. 52 countries signed the Antarctic Treaty in 1959, and they all agreed throughout all the kind of Cold War and stuff like that that's going on. They all agree no one can go free explore Antarctica. So, I mean, it kind of makes you curious if you think about it. Like, why would they block off all the area from the 60th parallel south? You can't explore that on your own, like a private individual. You can go on like a tour and see penguins at the shoreline, and if you pay thousands of dollars, but you're not going to be able to go take an expedition to go explore to see what's beyond. And maybe there's more land, maybe there's the wall of the firmament that you can hit, which we think Admiral Byrd may have found is possible. We don't know 100%, but there's all these ideas out there. Just looking into it, it makes you curious about, why they would be lying and all the things that happened with NASA forming 1958, and then 1961, I believe, was Operation Fishbowl. They call it Fishbowl, like we're in a fishbowl or something, launching missiles and possibly nukes or bombs up in the sky, and they're exploding like off a barrier. It looks like in the pictures.
So if you guys don't believe in space, if you just took off in a spaceship and went straight up,
you'd probably hit a barrier.
You think you'd hit a barrier? So all the footage of spacecraft leaving and entering the atmosphere.
It's all cartoons, man.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, you can see the progression of Hollywood technology that NASA's using from way back when.
Cameras and other technology.
Yeah, that too, but the techniques that they use, like they use stop motion animation for the first spacewalk. What was it, like Ed White or something like that?
It was Ed White, yeah.
Yeah, he was doing the spacewalk, and it looks like a stop motion figure moving like this while the Earth is spinning below it in the background smoothly. So just analyzing the NASA videos, it really gets you thinking, like even just the idea of like, could it possibly be fake? And you look into it with that mindset, you'll start to see it.
For that, because I've watched videos on that Ed White spacewalk thing.
Yeah.
You have to think when you like kind of watch the video, if you're in like underwater, you're not like constantly moving how you are when you're like up. When you're in gravity, how like when you're walking.
Right.
But when you're in water swimming, there's kind of that slow. Don't you think that could be it?
I guess it's possible, but to me that just looks like a stop motion animation. I don't think he's underwater or anything, but
well, he's not underwater, but I'm saying the effect of being out of gravity in space.
Well, we don't. That's just like a picture of the Earth in the background. That's just like a screen or something. Like they can do that with like animation. Like even the first photo of the Earth in 1972. Just look at it, analyze it. It's a painting, man.
It looks like
photorealistic paintings, man. It's hard to tell the difference if you don't know what you're looking for. It's called artistry. Look at all the photorealistic paintings from the past.
So how did they go through it? You think that the actual Earth looks like that model where it's like flat plane, all the land inside, surrounded by ocean?
I think that's the closest thing we have because there have been scientists in the past that have made maps like this before. Like Al-Biruni came up with it's called the azimuthal equidistant projection map, and we think that the globe was created from that, not the other way around.
Would you guys trust anybody if they said the Earth is round here or real pictures?
Pictures aren't proof, though.
What would you consider proof? What would have to be the definite, besides you being able to go out and see it, what would be the definite proof for you that the Earth is...
Well, it's not going to happen, but I would have to take my own craft high enough to be able to start to see any kind of curvature without using any kind of lenses.
Well, besides your eyes, yeah, that really wouldn't...
Yeah, but still, I don't like to get into that because at this point it's like, what kind of evidence would make you go back to believing in Santa Claus? Like, come on. Like that's kind of how it is for me. So,
I think.
Hey, here's some information for you. Yeah, but we were taught that in school.
Do you think the moon landing was an illusion?
I think that they went. I think that it's weird that we've never been back.
Okay.
I think that if they did go, I think that's weird.
For me, right now, where I'm at, you just have to debunk the vacuum of space to debunk the moon landing. You don't have to look into the shadows or anything. You just look at high pressure versus low pressure. They say the vacuum of space is out there, and we know that that's not possible to recreate on Earth. High pressure moving to low pressure without a barrier. Like they would equalize. All the air would be sucked out into space. You know, gravity's not enough to hold down air.
Okay,
we have atmosphere surrounding.
We do, but every time we send the ship out there, the cracks let out the oxygen. I'm actually on both sides here.
Yeah.
The Earth
well, that's a belief.
It's a belief, but like I'm with him on this one because all those rocket ships and all this stuff that we sending out to so-called space, it's basically just like, where does it go?
Where does all that, like,
where does that, like?
Because if it is a vacuum and if it's
they would have to start curving over, like arcing, which you can see time-lapse photography of the rocket launches, and it looks like they're just like going in an arc and right into the Bermuda Triangle. So it's funny how they have this story about the Bermuda Triangle being like a scary place where ships get lost.
I am a subscriber to you guys. I just looked at the...
I have my own personal channel, Critical Inception, so you can check that out.
Cool, dude. Who comes up with you come up with your design on your...
Yeah, because I get the idea of like having the inception of this idea in your mind is critical to understanding reality. So Flat Earth kind of destroys the illusion that we've been living in, that we've been handed.
So
You've never been. You've been in Greenville too long.
If you got like the chance to get in a plane and fly up into the air high enough to where you could see it curved, if there was around.
Well, see, because I've analyzed the videos and the pictures that they take.
It wasn't a video. If it was you sitting in the cockpit in the co-pilot seat and you saw it curving over, do you go, I've been wrong this whole time?
Well, even if there was a curve, you still have to be able to measure it to know, like, okay, at this height, how much does it curve? How much is it supposed to curve?
Yeah.
And that's all just conjecture. You know, you can't really, I mean, yeah, it's a thought experiment. It's interesting, but...
There's a button on there that'll make it go south.
You know, it's not going to happen.
They're never the same.
Hold that and talk in there. Say what's up, world.
What's up, world? So if you want, I have a little kind of model to give you an idea of how the sun could be moving around. You wanna come check it out?
Tell us what you're thinking, bro.
Hey man, come on, let me show you something.
It's all nonsense. I mean, back to the when I got into this, I used to know all this flat guy.
We'll all live in a lie.
All right, so you see this?
So we're living a lie.
So this is the map.
That puts no extra dollars in your pocket.
So here's like the firmament and the way that the sun would be moving around. Shit, that's cool. Okay. You're going like that. And so you see how the light goes, it bends in a certain way. With the atmosphere, the water in the atmosphere. See, this glass is, the refraction index is similar to water or air. And, you know, at a large distance, the light doesn't travel infinitely. It kind of, the light curves and it goes a limited distance. And that's how the sun would be moving around.
Keep doing what you guys doing.
Yeah, man.
That's correct.
Take care, man. Stay
We
woke.
don't know. We never been.
Yeah, they block it off.
See,
It's
I'm
off
from
limits.
Here. I'm from Uruguay.
Oh, okay.
They teach me this stuff, so that's why I'm like, oh.
They teach you what, the globe?
No, in my country, I have my uncle that has
Flat Earth?
The flat Earth theory as well.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
is that like in the schooling system, or?
No.
Oh, okay.
He.
That's your family?
He's my uncle.
Okay, that's awesome.
I was born in '94, so when I was born, he was teaching me a lot.
Okay.
You know, the world, who knows what's out there, you know?
Yeah.
Who knows what other life forms are out there?
Yeah, but as far as the importance of it, it makes you wonder, like, why these government agencies are putting so much time and effort to get you to believe that you're on a spinning globe, you know? They're putting everything into that. So, just something to think about.
No, he's the guy with the belief.
Hey, sweetie.
It's called the heliocentric law because they worship the helios.
Learning about all this proof about the world.
Because they haven't checked the math for themselves. They haven't gone out and checked it for themselves. The only
Got some information for you to take home.
is because they tried to prove the ball.
You just get into
Right?
it.
We wanted to stay in our belief. We wanted to. Oh no, these flat earthers.
All these guys over here are whacked and crazy. I'm in your space now.
You're a sad man.
I'm in your space.
You are a sad man.
Hey,
I'm not the one walking around getting in people's space.
I wish we could. I wish we could.
Well, you're the one
This is
going
not an
personally.
argument.
I mean, if I hit you, we'll be fighting.
Okay.
I'm not trying to pick a fight with you.
Okay.
I'm well versed in picking a fight. They know this. That's why they're standing close in case it happens.
Okay.
That's why I carry a gun for people like you that doubt.